What's up, YouTube? It's Ryan from AnnihilatorMTG here, and I'm back again with some more Modern. This week, we're going to be playing Grixis Midrange, the sister deck to the Grixis Control build that we played last week. Now, if you're going to play Grixis at all, and I'm not entirely sure I recommend doing so, it's important to choose between going proactive and reactive. And as far as reactive decks go in the format, I feel like we definitely get outclassed by more than one archetype. So we're going to go proactive today. So taking a look at the list, we've got 4 copies of Thought Scour, which is sort of the bread and butter of the deck. We've got 2 copies of Cling to Dust, 2 copies of Fatal Push, a full playset of Lightning Bolts. We have a 3-2 split between Inquisition and Thoughtseize. We've got 3 copies of Kroxa, a full playset of Drown in the Loch, Snapcaster Mage, and Kolaghan's Command. We've got 2 Bone Crusher Giants, and a full playset of Liliana the Veil, which fits right at home in a mid-range deck. Looking at the sideboard, we've got 3 copies of Collective Brutality, a full playset of Cleansing Wildfires, 3 copies of Spellbomb, 3 copies of Ashiok, and 2 Plague Engineers. As far as the list goes, I'm happy with how it's configured, but I'm not really sure how it's going to compete in the format. If we find a bunch of these Death and Taxes and Zoo decks, I feel like we'll do more than fine, to be quite honest with you. But against some of the bigger mana decks and the control decks that can kind of outgrind us, I feel like we're going to have some trouble. So let's hop into the queue and see if this does better than Grixis Control. Alrighty, looks like we found our opponent here. Best of luck to you, my friend. And I don't think we can keep this, at least not now. If we've played a few more games, then maybe, but yeah, I'm not going to risk it. Okay, this is better. It's a bit rough in certain situations, but yeah, we can keep this. Okay, so let's ship a... Let's ship a basic, to be honest, and we'll pass. Let's see what our opponent's playing here. Oh wow, they go all the way down to 5, and they play a Stomping Ground tapped. Good stuff. Okay. Polluted Delta, that's gross. So let's play a Tar Pit just to get that out of the way, and we'll pass. Hopefully we won't draw any more lands. But they will be fuel for this Liliana, so I'm not complaining too much. They play a Bloodstained Mire, they crack it, alright. Let's see if we're playing against Jund, or maybe something else. Farseek, okay. Alright, some kind of Valakut variant. That's a little bit scary, but they mulliganed pretty hard, so that can't be good for them. And nice, a swamp. How quaint. Alright, so let's go Delta, pass. We'll Thought Scour them at the end of their turn. They crack a Scalding Tarn. Let's see if they're playing 3 color. Nope, they're getting a Dwarven Mine. That's fine. Destroy X target artifacts and or creatures for each permanent destroyed this way. It's... Oh, okay, so they're just going to hit a Titan like this, I assume. Alright, so let's take the opportunity to go Thought Scour them, see if we can hit a Fatal Push. Oh boy. Alright, that's pretty good, I must say. Alright, let's go Blood Crypt. I think this will make it fizzle. I could be mistaken. We'll push it, and we'll hard pass. Alright, that's good stuff. Okay, so let's go Sulphur Falls so we can save a little bit of life here, and we'll go Liliana. Now we can really get started. So we uptick. Let's get rid of the basic. Oh wow, an Emrakul, alright. Okay, I wonder what their last card's gonna be. Let's see. They draw a card. What will our opponent play? Wooded Foothills, not bad. And a pass. Let's see. Let's uptick the Lily, and I think we'll dump a Lily. That's fine. Prime time. Nice. Let's go Watery Grave, and then we'll just animate and start swinging. Alright, we'll swing in. They can't block, which is fine, even if they had another Dwarven Mine. Alright, so they're down to 15. Alright, they hardcast a Search for Tomorrow, so now they're at 6 lands. Okay, let's see here. Let's uptick. Let's get rid of the Thought Scour. Hit okay. Let's play this tapped, and then we'll Snapcaster Mage and go from there. That way we can stop them from doing their combo again if need be. We can like snap push, and if not, then we can just like snap Thought Scour, which looks to be what we're going to be doing. So Snapcaster Mage, hit a Thought Scour, no problem. Target them, pay a blue, hope to hit a Bolt. We hit a Drown, which is pretty good too. All right, let's see here. I think we do want to ult them, just get that out of the way. All right, let's separate like this. Yeah, that's fine. They'll likely choose the 4 because duh, but this way they lose 2 Stomping Grounds, which is pretty good. Then we'll go Polluted Delta. We'll crack it. I don't think we really need to preoccupy ourselves with life totals at this point. So let's see. We need 1, 2, 3. Animate. Let's get this. We'll tap like that. We will animate the Tar Pit. So now we're basically at a 3-turn clock, and we can stop one of their threats with this Drown, even if it's a Titan, which is phenomenal. Looks like they play a second Wooded Foothills. Alright, Inquisition, we don't really care about that too much. Let's animate once again. Swing in for 5. We are 1 turn away. Nothing from our opponent. That's interesting. They must have some kind of lightning bolt or something that they're going to use to defend themselves. All right, we'll play this mountain here, and then we'll go like this. Animate. All right, they're going to need an answer here. We swing in for 5. Lightning bolt. Let's go drown. All right. Okay, so this is definitely a newer Valakut variant that I'm not entirely familiar with. I've seen lists of it online, but I've never actually played it, so I don't have that kind of actual experience with the deck. With that said, this shouldn't be too hard to deal with. Let's see here. These Bone Crusher Giants are likely going to be suboptimal. However, they are a threat. Cling to Dust is a little bit different, though. I think we'll cut Cling. We'll cut Cling. I think we can cut Push. Let's bring in a Brutality. Yeah, I think this is fine. We have Hand Attack, we have Counter/Kill spells, we have threats, we have ways to shut them down. This is a little bit 3-drop heavy, but that's okay. All right, let's submit and see if we can close this one out. All right, game number 2 here, and this is our hand. Honestly, it's not great. However, it does have a Liliana, and sometimes that's enough. The thing is, though, is we're not on the play, we're on the draw. So I think we mulligan in that scenario because the Lily isn't going to be as good. Okay, this is a little bit better. I think we can likely, let's see here, let's keep. And I think we can likely ship one of the lands. Yeah. See what our opponent's up to here. No idea what their sideboard looks like. All right, Drown in the Loch. That's not bad. Let's go with the Watery Grave, and let's Inquisition them. So unless they just choose not to fetch, this Drown will be live for most of their ramp spells, which is great. Okay, they have Explore, Farseek, and their combo card. But they do have a fetch, so that is relevant. I think, honestly, what we do here is we take their Explore, to be honest, because we'll be able to just kill their 1/1 token creature, which is no problem at all, and then fizzle their one combo card. That might mean that we have to tap, or rather not tap, on certain turns in a very specific way. But other than that, I feel like we're in a good spot here. All right, they get their Stomping Ground, they play a Mountain. I expect them to ramp here. If they Farseek, that's correct. Okay. All right, so their hand is Wooded Foothills, Unknown, and their combo card. We can deal with that for sure. Bloodstained Mire, that's very good. So let's go Blood Crypt, untapped, and we'll pass here. All right, let's see if we can fizzle them out. They play their Dwarven Mine, no problem. This is a sorcery, which is important to remember. So they can't just, like, punk us out. All right, it's their end step, so we can just bolt it. Okay, there's an Ashiok. Now that's pretty darn good. I think we definitely jam with that. Let's go Bloodstained Mire. Let's get a Steam Vents. Put that in untapped, and we'll jam the Ashiok. They scoop it up. I guess Ashiok really is quite good against them. GG's. Alrighty, looks like we found our opponent here. Best of luck to you, my friend, and I really don't think we can keep this hand, unfortunately, so we're going to mulligan here. Alright, this is certainly more than a bit better. I think we're going to ship one of the Cling to Dusts, and from there, I actually think we're in a pretty strong position. Let's see what our opponent's playing here. Okay, they go Castle Pass. That's not phenomenal for us, but I think we'll be okay. So let's go Polluted Delta. Let's get a Watery Grave. We'll put that in untapped, and we'll hit him with a Thoughtseize. Alrighty. What a spread. Oh boy. Okay, so I guess the thing is do we just take a Stirrings and hope that they kind of get bricked on lands? Yeah, I don't hate that, to be honest, because all of those cards are super redundant, but they do absolutely nothing super relevant unless you're actually drawing into lands. Now, obviously, the Dryad making everything a mountain, well, making everything every land type is relevant, but not super relevant, in my opinion. All right, so they go with the second Stirrings, and it looks like they find another castle. Okay. And they play a Valakut. Interesting. All right, so we know exactly what's in their hand. Well, we actually might be in a good position here. So let's lead with an Inquisition. The shields are definitely going to be down for a little bit, but I think that's actually okay. Let's take the redundant or the non-redundant piece in the Azusa. All right. Then let's go Blood Crypt, untapped, pass, and we'll cling our land because we want their graveyard to be full so we can drown properly. All right, Amulet's not great. Amulet is really not great. So they're going to be able to do all of their shenanigans, which, again, not super thrilled about. So they play one Dryad. They play a castle, which comes in untapped, of course. That's not too bad. All right, so let's cling our Polluted Delta. We get a Fatal Push. Not the best, not the worst. Lightning Bolt, however, is... Actually, no, Lightning Bolt is not ideal. So now the question is do we uptick with the Liliana to start to fuel the graveyard and do things that way? I think so, honestly. Just do that now. And I think really what we do is we discard the Bolt. So we'll ditch the Bolt. They'll likely ditch, I assume, a second Dryad. Or maybe a land, who knows. Alright, they ditch a second Dryad. They got one card in hand, which I believe is a land. I could be mistaken, though. This does put us in a pretty decent position because we can -2 the Lily next turn unless they have some way of dealing exorbitant amount of damage to us, but that's fine. I suppose if their last card is a Titan, then we are in a world of trouble. Alright, Engineered Explosives for 3, that's pretty gnarly, but that would also get their Dryad, so I'm pretty happy about that. So I do think we should sort of force the issue by just down-ticking. And they hit us, knowing full well that we will do that, which is an interesting thought process on our opponent's side. All right, we might as well humor them, make them sack a creature. Interesting. All right. Then let's take the opportunity to go Steam Vents tap. Now we can hold up Push plus Drown. Oh, we should have waited to fetch. That's very stupid. Yeah, a little bit overzealous on my part, but that's okay. So they crack the explosives, so now we can just drown even a Titan, unless they get a Cavern, which they're not gonna. Not in the same turn that they draw a Titan anyways. Okay, Bloodstained Mire, we will keep that to be able to crack it. And we can also Cling to Dust, which is pretty nice. Field of the Dead. Okay. That's kind of annoying. All right, let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we just wait. Thought Scour. That's pretty good. We'll just hold that up for now. One thing we might do is Thought Scour them like so, and if we hit a K command, we'll just use it. Inquisition, that's fine. Looks like they're playing a Dryad, which we can blow up no problem. Let's crack this, and let's get a Watery Grave tapped. Then we'll get the Dryad, and we'll pass. All right, good stuff, good stuff. Lily, that's good. So we'll play the Lily, we'll uptick, bin the Inquisition, and hold up a Drown. Pretty much have it all at this point. Ancient Stirrings. Don't think we care about that too much. All right, they get a Gruul Turf. They play it. They get an Amulet trigger. They get to return a land. They return a castle. Not bad. Okay. Thoughtseize. Don't need that. So we'll uptick, and we'll ditch the Thoughtseize. We're getting one step closer to the Liliana Ultimate, which is actually very good against this deck because we can kind of thin out their numbers, so to speak, and they really are dependent on that. Summoner's Pact. So let's take the opportunity and counter, and we'll hard pass. All right, good stuff. Oh, wow, Drown in the Lock. Interesting. So, here's what we'll do. Actually, that's not good. All right, so the big question here is do we go for a Cling to Dust now? Yeah, I think we do. We're not going to be able to actually do anything, which is kind of annoying, but that's all right. So let's Cling to Dust, and let's get a... Geez, I don't know. Let's take the Teleria West, and let's exile a bunch of stuff here. That's fine. Draw a card by exiling their land, and then we'll be able to... Let's see. Snapcaster. Snapcaster is pretty valuable. Let's uptick, and we'll ditch the Drown. So now we just need to dodge a Pact or Titan, and we'll be okay. All right, they play a Forest. That's not going to do it. So now, here's a question. If we can just Drown in the Lock no matter what, then we should uptick, ditch the land. Now we'll be kind of in a position where it doesn't matter if they draw a Pact or a Titan because we can just snap drown it. They don't have a Cavern, and then we can just block the zombie with the Snapcaster Mage, and then we'll have a Liliana that isn't dead. So we'll go Snapcaster Mage, then we'll go Drown. All right, they will swing, we will block. Lily gets to live another day, and we have a Drown in the Lock to counter whatever they choose to do. They play a land, okay. They get a zombie, okay. And a Lightning Bolt, that's phenomenal. All right, so let's ult them. And now I think we go Field, Valakut, Zombie, and then what else? Forest, Amulet? Sure, make them choose. Phenomenal, okay. Then we bolt the zombie, and our Lily gets to stick around. Then we can Cling to Dust during their end step, and we're basically in a position where they really can't do anything now at all. They explore, not bad. See if they actually hit anything. All right, they scoop it up. So these Wildfires are probably good. These Ashioks are probably good. Now, what is bad? What is bad? Honestly, the thing is outside of Azusa, I don't really know what these bolts do. I mean, sure, they can win the game. They can help you win the game anyways, but they don't really do much. Cling is good card advantage, but it's not strictly speaking needed. And then I guess we can maybe trim on like a Bone Crusher Giant? Yeah, as weird as this looks, I'm mostly concerned in just stopping them from doing the things that they actually want to do. And Ashiok, Cleansing Wildfire, all of this stuff does a phenomenal job of doing that. And if we just have to swing in with a lonely Snapcaster Mage, then that's good enough. Okay, now unfortunately here, I really like this hand. It's actually quite good, but the one land is really, really rough. And if we don't get a second one, even though we have a lot of looks, it's really, really bad. With that said, if we do get a second one, then we're actually in a phenomenal position here. This is really stupid, but I'm going to keep it. All right, they play a Castle and pass. Good stuff. All right, now this is just a phenomenal position that we're in. So let's go Watery Grave untapped, and we can Thought Scour them at the end of their turn. So now we're in a position where Drown is completely active. We can crack the Bloodstained Mire to trigger Revolt for the Fatal Push. We just have pretty much everything that we would want. Nice, and we can Wildfire their field, which I think we're going to do. Let's Thought Scour them. Second field, all right, and a Thought Seize. That's pretty nice. Second Wildfire, okay. Yeah, why not? Let's take the opportunity. Let's go Steam Vents. Let's go Wildfire, get their field, draw a card. Thought Scour. Okay, let's see what they play. Radiant Fountain. Tireless Tracker. We can deal with that. Nice. We can definitely deal with that. Okay. Let's go Bloodstained Mire. Blood Crypt. Let's go Push. Kill the Tracker. Good stuff. Then, I guess we just hold up Drown. Hold up Drown. If not, we can Thought Scour. And then, like, next turn, we can, like, push, or we can Thought Seize, rather. Yeah, that's pretty decent. Yeah, I'm actually pretty happy with how this is going. All right, our opponent plays a Relic. That's interesting. How much do we care about that? I don't think too much. I really don't. Interesting. Then our opponent plays a Bajuka Bog. A bit of redundancy. Huh. All right. So there goes our Yard, which, again, is fine, I guess. Okay. Well, let's go Thought Scour ourselves, see what happens. Okay, there's a Kroxa in there. Maybe they'll be inclined. Get rid of a land. All right. Ashiok's pretty nice. Ashiok is pretty nice indeed. Let's just jam the Ashiok, see if that's enough. I don't think it'll be, but that's fine. We can deal with the board. We're not even going to use any abilities. We're just going to keep the static. You can't search effect. This turns off their pact. It makes their Titan not great. And then we can deal with this Relic afterwards. Or they're just going to pop it. That's phenomenal. Okay. So the shields are down anyways, so it's not like we could drown regardless of what we even wanted to do. They play an Azusa. All right. So they're setting up. They play a Breeding Pool. Tapped. Okay. So that's one land out of 3. Yeah. So that was their actual land drop. Now they've got 2 more. Let's see if they have any. A Teleria West. Okay. It's not too bad. So let us see here. Let's go Watery Grave untapped. Then let's go Thought Seize. Nice. Let's go Prime Time because we can drown the pact no matter what, which is important to remember. And then they don't have a direct way. They don't have a direct way to deal with the Ashiok, so I'm actually kind of inclined to do this, because if they ditch the pact, then that problem's solved. If they ditch the Cavern, then that's a different solution entirely. Let's get rid of a Wildfire. See, the thing is I'm happy with both of their picks. Like, yeah, there you go. So now both of their quote-unquote win cons are essentially taken care of, and all they have now is a Cavern and an Unknown in hand. They play the Cavern, that's fine. They name Giant, we're good. And they have an Azusa that we can easily take care of. And they're going to attack the Liliana of the Veil. Okay. So it seems they've completely given up on the idea of search effects, which is phenomenal for us. All right. Another Blood Crypt. That's interesting. Okay. Well, let's see here. It's a 1/2, which is fine. So let's just uptick. Yeah, let's get rid of the Blood Crypt. Then what we'll do is when they draw, we'll make them discard and kill the Azusa. Then we'll hard pass. All right, good stuff. So now they have Stone Cold nothing, and we can just keep up taking the Liliana, stop them from searching, and just play a Bone Crusher Giant. Just hard cast it. Alright, uptick the Lily. Get rid of a Lily. Shields are going to be down for a slight moment, but let's go Bone Crusher Giant. Alright, if our opponent gets a prime time, we can just downtick the Lily. They can't search, so it's fine. There are very few threats that I'm actually worried about from our opponent's side. And at this point, they see it too. Alright, GG's. Beat Amulet. Alrighty, looks like we found our opponent here. Best of luck to you, my friend, and I definitely think we can keep this hand. We've got plenty of interaction and a Liliana to look forward to. Alright, basic mountain, and we've got some aggro on our hands. Alright, we can deal with that, I think. Alright, so they swing in, they hit us for 1, no problem there. We find another lightning bolt. That's quite something. Let's go crack this, and I think I want to get a Blood Crypt. Then let's just bolt the Swift Spear for now, and we'll pass. Next turn, if they're just playing instants and sorceries, if they don't have another creature, then we can just go Watery Grave tapped Inquisition. If they are playing more creatures, then obviously we can bolt. Alright, so they hit us with a bolt. They're down to 4 cards. And a Light Up the Stage to find a Skewer and a Seal of Fire. Very interesting. Alright, let's see what we draw. Hopefully something good. Cling to Dust. That's pretty nice. That's pretty nice indeed. We'll put that in tapped, though, to preserve some life total. Then we'll hit them with the Inquisition. Alright, that's going to be annoying for sure. I think we'll take the Skull Crack, though. Alright, we'll pass here. We can always Cling to Dust. We can Lightning Bolt. We've got a lot of options here. Liliana's very good for obvious reasons. With the Jamma Guide, that's not fun. Hopefully we can hit a land off this Goblin Guide trigger. And it's a Croxa. It's okay. It's not super ideal, but I guess maybe later it'll be useful. Who knows? Alright, so we're at 11. I assume they're going to hit us with a Skewer, or they can just play a Seal of Fire for another day. They hit us with a Skewer, alright. So, let's go while we can. Let's cling the Swift Spear. Then we can Lightning Bolt the Goblin Guide after it hits a trigger. Because that way we can hopefully get another land or something. They suspend a Rift Bolt, that's fine. They're on to attackers. They swing in with a Goblin Guide. A K command, that's annoying. Let's bolt that. I think what I'm going to do is during my upkeep, I'm going to Thought Scour myself. Mostly because I want to get another land, and a K command isn't really on the menu right now. Let's put it that way. Alright, so let's hit a Thought Scour here. And we hilariously enough just run into another K command. That's just comical. But we did find another land, so that is relevant. Now, the question is, do I get a basic swamp and go for the Croxa? I feel like I do. Yeah, I feel like that's what I'm supposed to do here. Alright, so we jam the Croxa. This puts them in an interesting predicament where they either get rid of this or the Lightning Bolt. Either way, I'm happy with whatever they choose. Alright, they get rid of the Bolt. Nice. Alright, so the Rift Bolt will reduce this cost to, what, 3 total? So if they top deck like a mountain or something, then they'll be in a really good spot. If they top deck a Bolt, they'll be in a really good spot. But we can Lily it no matter what, which is nice. The thing is, though, is we're going to be at a very low life total if that ends up happening. Another suspended Rift Bolt, that's not bad. We can K-command them or we can Lily them. All valid options here. I think I'm inclined to go Lily. We'll dump this Inquisition. So they're all out of cards in hand. They'll hit us with a Rift Bolt. We'll be at 4. If we can top deck a land, then we can go Cling, gain a little bit more life, keep doing stuff with the Lily. I feel like we're okay. Nice, and a mountain. Phenomenal. Okay, we're in a good spot here, I feel. Bone Crusher Giant. Alright, let's see here. Well, do we go K command during their turn, or do we just jam the Bone Crusher Giant as is and do things that way? I kind of feel like we just jam the Bone Crusher Giant. That way we have a blocker that essentially turns off their creatures, which is phenomenal, and then we can kind of just go from there. Alright, let's see what they do. Light Up the Stage. Mountain Skull Crack. Okay, that is relevant. They can't cast it, luckily, but that is relevant. Another land will be phenomenal, and we don't get one. What do we do here? I think I can uptick and dump a Lily for obvious reasons. Then let's attack with a Bone Crusher Giant, which is fine because we're going to K-command them during their draw step. And if it's a creature, then we're fine. A creature or a sorcery, then we're fine. If it's an instant, we lose, is just the fact of the matter. But it is what it is. Nice. Okay, so now they're going to Skull Crack us. We're down to 1. This is more than a little bit sketchy. Bloodstained Mire that we can't play. Boy, does that suck. Okay, let's uptick. We'll ditch that. Then let's go Bone Crusher Giant. We'll swing in. Hopefully they hit like a Goblin Guide that we can bolt or something. That would be good. Any creature really is what we're hoping for here. Or just Mountain. Okay. Interesting stuff from our opponent, choosing not to play anything. Snapcaster Mage. We can snap Cling to Dust. That's pretty good. Let's go... Separating the piles doesn't do anything, frankly. So let's just move to attacks. All right, we swing in. Nothing so far. Okay. Not sure what that means. Mountain. Okay. We draw. Polluted Delta. Let's force the issue with an uptick. Wow. Oh, man. They just went mountain, mountain. That sucks. All right. Swing in with a Bone Crusher Giant, then bolt them. That is not how I expected that to go. But with that in mind, we now have a much easier time dealing with them with these brutalities. So let's cut 2 Thoughtseize because that kind of just hurts us anyways. And then what do we want to trim on? We could probably lose like 1 Liliana because we're not really that... strictly speaking, like, dependent on Liliana. There's something to be said about the Plague Engineers, but I'm really not sure about that. It is a blocker. It is an attacker. It's got Death Touch. That's good, but I don't think that's strictly speaking enough. We'll go like this. We'll be fine. All right, so this hand is okay. The Field of Ruin is not great. I'm inclined to mulligan. This is better. This is much better. Let's keep it, and let's get rid of an island. All right, so now we have interaction on the board, we have interaction on the stack, and we have discard, which is phenomenal. They go basic mountain, Seal of Fire. That is completely fine. All right, brutality, that's good to see. Let's go polluted delta, and I think we'll go with a steam vents most likely. We could go watery grave, but yeah, I think steam vents is fine if they do nothing, or if they just attack us with lightning or something like that. They crack their Seal of Fire. This is potentially alarming. Maybe they are going to combo. That's 5. Yeah, they're going to play that Chandra thing. Yep. Ah, boy. All right, so that's not good. That's not good at all. Let's crack this. I guess what we're hoping for here is top deck a bolt. Like, that's really our only out at this juncture because there's no way they're going to get to like 6 cards in the graveyard without just completely killing us first. So that is pretty relevant. But if we do top deck a second bolt, then we can just blow it up and we'll be fine. Let's take a look. Field. Well, that's not great. This is a bit annoying. Not really sure what to do here. I guess we can just go brutality, 2 modes, drain, instant sorcery, and then just like pitch the field. All right, that's fine. They've got a Goblin Guide. That's annoying. So they can deal upwards of 11 damage next turn. That's pretty rough. I think we should probably just take the guaranteed damage. All right, so they're going to be dealing 8 next turn, guaranteed. All right, there's the Goblin Guide. If we bolt the Goblin Guide, that has 4 cards in their yard, not 6. We're still a long ways away from where we need to be. Light up the stage. All right, that's 4. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're just dead here. Pretty sure we're just dead. Second Goblin Guide. That's, all right, it's fun. Yeah, we're super dead. And hopefully when we're on the play, we'll be better equipped to handle all of that nonsense. That was a pretty strong showing from our opponent, though, I have to admit. All right, we'll play first, and we have pretty much everything we want. We've got a Kroxa, a Bolt, a Brutality, Snapcaster Mage, Liliana. This is basically how we wrote it up. So we'll keep, and I think I'll go Delta Pass. We can get a Steam Vents and Bolt something if need be. If not, then we can just put it in tapped and be done with it. Seal of Fire, that's fine. We'll crack this. This is setting themselves up for that creature again, though, so that's pretty daunting. All right, see what we draw. Another Kroxa. Kroxa's fine. I think we can actually just go with a Kroxa, make him discard, deal with things that way. All right, it looks like they ditched a Lava Spike. If we can manage to draw another black source, particularly a basic swamp, would be phenomenal. Then we can Liliana and Edict their creature if they happen to get another one of those 6/6s, and it looks like they're setting up for that. That is rather unfortunate, I must say. Man, they just have it all, don't they? I'd even take a fetch off the top at this point. K command. Not great. Not great at all. Boy, what's the question here? Do we just go Kroxa again? Do we go Brutality, pitch the K command? I think we might do that. Brutality, pitch the K command. Let's do 2 modes. Let's get rid of that. What have we here? Double Goblin Guide. Good lord. All right, so they're going to get in for, what, 10 next turn? How do we even deal with that? I don't think we can. Wow, what a phenomenal series of games from our opponent. Absolutely stellar stuff. I guess we can get, like, basic land and then, like, Bolt, Snap, Bolt, just chump block. Like, that's an option. I mean, it's not a great option. And doesn't this have trample? It does, so that's not an option. That's pretty much it. All right, GG's, opponent. That's some strong stuff. And there you have it, Grixis Midrange. So what do I think about this deck? Quite honestly, in several matchups, it still feels quite strong, but with that said, when it's weak, it feels far weaker than other control or midrange decks in the format, and if anything, that's one of the biggest reasons not to play it. But with that said, it's quite honestly a blast to play. I've always enjoyed Grixis, be it Modern, Legacy, EDH, you name it, it's always fun. One thing I can say for sure is that cards like Drown in the Loch, Kroxa, and Cling to Dust give me a lot of hope for the future in regards to Grixis one day coming back to its former glory. But until then, I want to thank you all for watching. As always, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate your time. Stay safe out there, and have a good one.